Welcome to the 184th episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle Executive Editor Eric Schwartz and photojournalist Kody Christen. And we're joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, and The Roof Doctor. You guys have any preambles before we do the news? We have a guest, too.
Yeah, we do.
We have a guest.
Introduce him, Kody.
So this is my buddy Reid. He's a senior at Adna High School this year.
I thought he was a job shadow.
I can't be buddies with my job shadowies. Sorry.
Go on.
This is Reid. He's a senior at Adna this year, and one of the Adna High School graduation requirements is a job shadow. So he chose to do local photojournalist Kody Christen for his.
So you're going to lean on you for your weeks upon weeks of experience in this field?
Yeah, my multiple months.
You have progressed really fast
as a photojournalist.
Yeah, you're doing great. Who did you job shadow with?
I job shadowed a civil engineer.
Oh, nice.
And here I am.
You're engineering, all right.
Yeah.
I think it's a good time to remind listeners that Kody got this job because he showed up to a part-time interview in a suit.
Yeah.
I did. Damn right I did.
That was classy. Was that something you thought of on your own, or did your old man tell you to do it, or what?
It wasn't a full suit. It was slacks and a polo with like a coat over it. It wasn't a suit. I wasn't wearing a shirt and tie.
Okay.
No, that was just me. I mean, I'd never had like an interview before. Every job I've worked is just like.
They just take one look at you and they're like, "Yeah, we'll take him.
Yeah, he can work.
This boy can milk cows."
Exactly. So I didn't know what to expect. And Josh later told me that the other kid that interviewed, there was two other people, which I didn't know. He told me that the other kid that interviewed asked, "This isn't an actual job, is it?" At the end of the interview. So I had it on lock.
I mean, really, it's not. You walk around and take pictures of people all day, Kody. Right, do you feel like you've worked when you get home? You're like, man, I put in a solid. I'm just joking, by the way. You work hard.
Not going to answer that.
Solid day of grinding out in the content mines.
Yep.
The notes are fairly short this week. Schwartz, I have a particular setup for writing notes, which is I set up the laptop on the very at the head of the massive dining room table I have. I arrange the things I need to write: my bottle of scotch, pack of parliaments, loaded handgun, fully nude. And I open up my laptop, and I go to Internet Explorer, and I type in www.cronline.com, and then I prepare to be furious and read the news.
Well, you don't read the news, to be fair. You read the headlines, make assumptions, wrap that all the way back to the county commissioner somehow, no matter what it is, and then I inform you each week on what's actually happening. What actually
happened, yeah. But during my brief perusal of the headlines, I didn't see a whole lot, so they're fairly short, and we'll do like we did last time, where we just kind of wrap around and you tell me what the news is.
I take offense to that because I think we've had more news this week than most weeks. Just news items, maybe not.
I did this like, what, Sunday night, Monday night?
Oh, so we're just going to miss all of Monday, Tuesday,
Well,
Wednesday.
that's where you come in.
Cool. Well, anyway. I thought as a preamble we could play a inaugural round of food establishment inspection scores quiz.
Go for it.
Where I'm going to throw out a restaurant. I spent a good hour or two yesterday compiling the last month of restaurant inspections. So I'm going to throw out the name of the restaurant, and you're going to tell me violation or no violation.
Why don't we go over-under for a number of points?
No.
Okay.
But I like violation or no violation.
Keep it simple this time. We can build on it later.
Okay.
So,
Reid, do you want in on this?
I'll bounce. I can bounce around each of you. I'll do. How about just one for each? Aaron, Taco Bell, Centralia.
Violation.
Perfect score. You fool. Wow. Let's see, Kody. What do I want to pick for Kody here? Pizza Hut, Centralia.
Ooh. I mean, no one out pizzas the Hut, but I don't know how clean they are.
They're under construction right now too. There's something going on over there.
I'm going with no violations.
Perfect score.
Wow.
And how dare you? Pizza Hut's always clean and friendly. Anyone who thought I was actually going to read one of the ones that has a violation.
Come on, give us one.
Okay. Well, okay, we'll do one more round then.
The piggies want their slop.
Reid, Arby's, Centralia.
Violation, absolutely.
There's a violation. They got 5 points. It was very minor. The inspector said the inspector said the facility was clean and organized. However, food handlers' cards were missing in a couple cases, and they were told to obtain them by the end of the week, so they probably have them now.
This roast beef is only scalded.
Aaron. Let's see. What do we want to pick here for Aaron? Aaron, Vicky's Salvadorian Restaurant.
Vicky's keeps it clean.
Perfect score. Mm-hmm. They did have a perfect score. Let's see, Kody. Which one do we want to give you here? Let's say Great Cuisine of India.
Never been.
Why not?
Just haven't.
Okay.
Perfect score.
They had violations. They had violations.
Dang it.
Food handler card. They were asked to submit documents on that one, and they were told to fix a broken floor tile, which kind of an odd one. So we'll do one more for Reid, our visitor. Let's see, Reid. How do you think? How do you think? Well, you probably wouldn't know what that one was. How do you think Judy's Country Kitchen in Centralia did on this one?
I'd say clean.
They're clean. They are clean.
Clean.
Go to Cronline. We've got the
He
updated
knows.
list there. If you
There
want
we
to
go.
just see the perfect scores, they're all listed down towards the bottom, and then the other scores are up top.
Can we get
you
the-
arrange them from worst to cleanest?
I arrange them chronologically from when I open up the document that they send over.
Can we get the worst score?
The worst score this time around, you're gonna have to go to Cronline for it. I'm not feeding you that on the news dump. I'm gonna need those clicks.
Oh, and they shouldn't be feeding us anything.
There wasn't like anything super egregious this time. There were some high points, but nothing that triggers a shutdown or anything like that.
Is it
Oh,
just
that's
like your
good.
favorite eating establishment and you don't want them to get shut down, so you're just not name dropping?
No. That's
Talk about
McDonald's
Wendy's like that?
passed. on
Can I
both-
get? Can I
both
guess? If I guess, will you tell me?
guys.
I probably shouldn't. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I don't want to denigrate any of these businesses because most of the
Right,
time when the inspector goes in there, they also make lots of good notes. I try to include some of that flavor. Like they'll be like, it's very clean and organized, but there was raw meat in the sink, the hand washing sink, next to some fruits and vegetables. It's a real one from this week.
Well, that happens, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you lose track of your raw meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who among us?
But yeah, cronline.com. Go check it out.
News items. First up, court ruling clears the way for carbon storage projects on state logging lands. DNR had planned to use 10,000 acres of land it controls to do some carbon storage stuff, and Lewis County, Skagit County, and a forest council teamed up to shout, the only thing a tree can be used for is logging. The judge predictably ruled in favor of the people who manage forest lands professionally and not Lewis County, which took another legal L, and this one wasn't even one of the lawsuits we knew about.
I mean, it was. We wrote about it previously, and I think it's been on this podcast. Again, that's what I'm here for.
I don't
Aaron.
know. I don't
Correct
think we
you.
have
I
this one on
literally looked it up like we did. We've had
whatever you
commentary
say.
on it as well.
Whatever you say.
I think Isabel wrote it up, to be honest. And I mean, you, a Lewis County board man, thinking it's just so insane that people wouldn't want 10,000 acres set aside for carbon sequestration when they could. Yeah, I mean, spot the lie. Only thing a tree can be used for is logging, Aaron.
Do you think the judge
learned that at
got
Forks
the-
High School.
The judge got handed the docket and he saw Lewis County on there and he's like, oh, this ought to be good.
I don't. It was Lewis and Skagit County, by the way. And wasn't it the American Forest Council as well? I think was in on that lawsuit. Somebody was.
Do you think Skagit County felt like Joel Embiid when Ben Simmons just kept getting hurt and never coming back and forgot how to shoot? And he was like, God damn it.
I
Why
don't.
did we get this guy?
No, I don't. But yes, this is a news item that happened this week. And this isn't our story. This was Washington Standard, I believe, that we just repurposed.
It's a verbal meme, but it's LeBron James at the end of that playoff game, and he's just staring at J.R. Smith.
You know, I could just sit here and listen to you describe memes all day. Aaron. I don't even need the meme.
All right. Next up, JJ's To Go hosts grand opening in downtown Centralia. The location is the first brick and mortar location for the restaurant, which started as a to-go only business in November of 2021. It's owned by Jessica and Devin Britton. They moved into the restaurant that has housed Dawn's Delectables and Sandwich Shop for the last 11 years. That business closed at the end of March, with the Brittons moving JJ's in on April 1st.
You'll hate this, Aaron. I enjoyed it. But they did a prayer at the ribbon cutting, and I know how you feel about God and how he's left you in your life and the
As
station.
long as it's not the government doing it, I'm perfectly fine. Do whatever you want in the comfort of your own business.
I was just saying, I heard that it was a really good ribbon cutting, which that's a loaded statement right there, because those ribbon cuttings, I'm not insulting them, but they're pretty in and out type things.
Were they giving out food?
They had samples, I think, at least
that'll
of
do it.
coffee. There's a photo in there of Rob Snaza like holding up a glass of some sort.
Yeah.
Not John Snaza, Rob Snaza. Looks good. Have you eaten there yet?
I have not.
So I'm going to be honest. I was going to go eat there yesterday, and it was really busy, so I walked to KFC instead.
Look at you walking. Good for you, man.
I know. I'm really trying. Yeah.
You're like, I'm healthy, and you walked up to like 2 double downs, please.
The menu looks really good though. So
KFC?
No. Well, yes, but JJ's to go looks really cool. Everyone should stop in. It looks like they've been bustling since they opened.
KFC, they're like, would you like a beverage, sir? And you're like, oh, just 1 small glass of mashed potatoes, please.
I wish that were an option.
I heard Mitchell mention that the JJ's, it was like one of their desserts. I think I want to say it was like a double chocolate cupcake or something. It was like, he said it was a 10 out of a 10. So I must have good desserts there too.
Well, I trust Mitchell's judgment.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have to try that out.
All right, next item. Centralia Police Chief Stacy Denham selected as city manager of Chehalis. Look who's fleeing Pawnee for Eagleton.
You know, that's exactly what I thought when I heard the news.
Yeah.
It's a good comparison. We updated that story today. Owen went to the city council meeting last night, the Centralia City Council meeting, which was a day after they announced that Denham had been hired as the new Chehalis manager. And so we updated the story. Let's see, the pertinent stuff. Salary is $170,000 a year.
Good for him.
Which is more than Anderson slightly, which was $166,161 exactly per year.
Okay.
He's going to start there on June 1st with his last official day in Centralia, May 31st. So there's no downtime for the Denham. He's just going right into it. They seem like they're excited to have him over there in Chehalis.
No rest until Chehalis is managed.
No rest.
Yeah. All right, cool. He will replace Jill Anderson, who is retired. They had an interim manager too, didn't they?
They still do have an interim manager until Denham starts on. Let's see, who is the interim manager? Public Works Director Lance Bunker.
Okay.
Who they are paying $12,973 a month, not a year.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Good work if you can get it. Lewis County Auditor's Office. Unofficial results for the April 23rd special election will be available online at 8:15 p.m. on election night. Obviously, I made this a few days ago.
Even so, if we had done it, it's just lazy. The results are in, and they are on Cronline.
Please be aware all counties in Washington State are uploading their election results to the Secretary of State's reporting site at the same time on election night. That can cause a slight delay in the results posting online. Be patient and keep checking. More warnings from the deep state covering their own fraud.
The Toledo school levy passed, or at least it appears to be passing at 53.28% compared to 46.62%, which over 100 votes, like 130 votes. I think we can declare that one, right? We can call it.
Call it.
Call
Sure,
it on
why
the
not?
news dump. Okay, Toledo levy passes. And then Lewis County Fire District 17, which I believe is up in the Mineral area, if I'm not mistaken. Their levy lid lifts both pass, but with very short vote totals. They both had the same vote total of 31 to 18.
Okay. All right. Now, what is all the news I missed?
All the news you missed.
Yeah, give me some,
Let's just
throw some headlines
Pull
at
up
me.
the homepage here. Centralia Police, on that topic, got 2 new officers yesterday. They were
Cool.
sworn in at the city council meeting. There's a story on that at Cronline. We've got Chehalis Middle School honor roll.
Oh.
Yeah, that's always a popular item. Here's a fun one. Ridley stopped by the juice box, and they're working on a mural over there. Emily Bryant and Thomas Sutley are the artists, and I'll just show this to you. But this part of the mural just has people drowning in the streets of down. I don't think they're drowning. I think they're standing.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, they don't.
I like
they don't
that.
It's like downtown Centralia flooded, and then you've got some people on it looks like a raft moving down. And then in her cut line, she said that the people in the water are like notable Lewis County residents. So cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Cross your fingers.
Did we make the cut?
I guarantee you we did not make the cut. I was trying to zoom in on all these people and figure out who they are, and I had no success. But the photos are really interesting, and you could probably just pop in there and see it for yourself. Jamie Herrera Butler was in town.
I like this story.
Okay.
Yeah, she made a stop in Chehalis in her bid for Public Lands Commissioner. First line of this story, Jamie Herrera Butler is no stranger to Southwest Washington. Hard disagree. She was famous for never hosting in-person town halls.
I mean, she did her community coffees and whatnot. She got her. It was that's
She
unfair.
shows up like a dad that went out for cigarettes 15 years ago. Hey, I'm back. I'm your uncle now.
I think we'll get to this a little bit later, but she did talk a little bit about the Republican convention over in Spokane and how And she's running for Public Lands Commissioner, if I didn't say that. She's one of like 6 candidates. I think she's the leader in the most recent poll, according to the story anyways. But she talked about at the convention, which they did not endorse her. That's not a shock. She did vote to impeach Donald Trump, so I wouldn't expect that.
Jim Walsh was furious.
But in like the visit came. Let's see, the visit came days after the Washington State GOP convention, where some attendees turned their backs in protest as Herrera Butler spoke. And then she had this quote: "It was probably only 30% that were booing, which means out of the most extreme of the most extreme, 60% didn't boo. Those are gettable votes. Those are voters." So,
do you want to talk about the convention now?
I mean, you mean the one that was totally calm and went according to Robert's Rules of Order and definitely wasn't chaotic?
State GOP leader Jim Walsh, some MSM stories about the convention will use words like chaos and chaotic. In fact, the convention was never chaotic and followed standard parliamentary procedure the whole time. Everyone else is wrong, you see.
Yeah, that was kind of the takeaway of that particular order. And there's a headline here: Washington Republican Convention erupts in chaos after GOP leaders try to stop the governor endorsement vote. So they decided not to endorse anyone because Semi-Bird hadn't been forthcoming with his 1990s criminal history. I think it was a misdemeanor, but still criminal history. And so they announced that they were just not going to endorse anyone, but Semi-Bird was very big in the room, and so I guess there was some polite disagreement aired through jeering and swearing.
Totally normal.
Which is right there in the Robert's Rules of Order, so you back off.
Yeah.
I did see Walsh do a video yesterday where I think he was joking, but using the word chaos to just say he thought that maybe all these mainstream publications are collaborating when we do our headlines.
Yeah, you guys all got together.
How did
you called up Jim Seattle Times and
we do a
Mike
Zoom
Spokesman.
every morning, and we're just like, yeah, this is what you're going to cover today.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want a real kick in the pants, just log on to twitter.com, a website now called X. Look up Jim Walsh's account and see him fighting people in the comments. He uses the phrase, ha 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 ha, period, frequently.
Well, when you're owning the libs, it's humorous sometimes.
When you put a period at the end of a ha 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 ha, it makes me think you're not really laughing.
What would you put at the end of a ha ha?
A winky emoji.
We'll run through just some other
eggplants.
Whoa.
I thought this wasn't really a full story. I mean, it is a full story, but it was based on a press release. Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez, our congresswoman, issued a news release this morning or last night calling for more funding for the southern border. And I just thought it was notable that there's a quote in here that says, "President Biden has failed to end the crisis at our southern border, so I voted to do what he refuses to do, secure our border and stop the violent drug cartels pumping fentanyl into our country." Pretty nice to see a Democrat say that.
Yeah. I like the part where Jim Walsh called Dave Reichert a silver spoon elitist.
Yes.
Jim Walsh, who attended prep school with Brett Kavanaugh.
That wasn't in the story.
You're
pulling from Twitter now.
Jim Walsh is as soft as warm pudding, my man. Him calling anybody else a silver spoon elitist is just, look at those sweaters. Come on. A sweater and a blazer? Get out of here.
And just to be clear, go ahead.
Who did he call that?
Dave Reichert, I believe.
Why?
Oh, maybe he called Ferguson that.
Yeah, I think he called Ferguson.
Isn't Reichert like a cop for forever?
Yeah, he single-handedly solved the Green River Killer case.
That's the only thing I know about him.
10 years after everybody told him who it was.
Yeah.
No, that's not how it went. You clearly haven't seen the documentary that I've seen.
How I almost caught him, the Green River Killer story.
And when I said that it's nice to hear Gluesenkamp say that, it's not that I have a favorite in that race or anything like that. It's just that the southern border is a problem and fentanyl needs to be dealt with somehow at some point.
Well, Gluesenkamp-Perez has been regularly stealing your photos and selling them at rallies, correct?
No, that was Joe Kent. Man, flashbacks to last summer's fair. Well, that was two fairs ago.
You're selling our photos?
Was it just...
it was Jared got a really nice photo of him with like a American flag unfurled in the background, and he looks really good. He looks really masculine. He's up there talking on the stage. It's a good photo, but masculine. Yeah, we walked by the Kent booth at the fair in 2022, and he was selling them for very high prices, like framed copies of varying sizes. It was like a whole section. And to his credit, they did take them down after someone walked by and mentioned it. So,
After
but I
they
don't know
were-
how many are sitting on mantles
After
across
they were
Southwest Washington.
sold out.
Yeah, how many sales did he come up with?
I don't know. It was a good photo, though. I mean, I understand why he wanted to have it. I just wish he would have asked. So
Is
I
that
could
the
have
one
said
with
no.
with Lauren Boebert and Matt Gaetz in the background? Two people with clean pasts.
I don't think
No controversy.
Boebert, is that how you say it? I always thought it was Boebert. She wasn't there, but yes, Matt Gaetz was at that function.
That was a different one that Boebert was at.
She was at a Lauren Culp event at the Twin Cities Senior Center.
Oh.
And
Wait, why isn't Walsh running him back? What's going on?
She wasn't really like notorious or famous yet. I didn't even notice.
Hadn't seen
her.
Beetlejuice yet?
Somebody had to point her out to me like a year after we had done the coverage. So, but yeah, she was here.
Was it Jared?
No, it was not. It was a source, well-placed source. Spring Youth Fair coming up May 3rd to 5th.
Nice.
You're going to be shooting a lot of that, Kody. I hope you like kids and cows.
What's the mascot for that? Or do they have a like a logo or anything?
I don't know. We didn't run a logo with it. We just ran a file photo from last year of a cute little kid and a goat or a sheep. I can't tell because it's a thumbnail photo.
I thought maybe it was like a cartoon pig or something.
It could be. I don't
I
know.
know how you love a hog reveal.
Candidate filing week, May 6th to 10th. Aaron, you thinking about running?
I am. Yeah, I'm challenging Warren McLeod. I'm going to be like, let's have a debate, bring out a bunch of bodies, and we'll decide whether they're dead or not.
I hope I'm not out of pocket with this, but years ago you were approached as a potential candidate for commissioner.
Briefly, yes.
And you didn't really consider it. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider running for public office? What would it take?
Boy, I don't know. I not really.
You got a lot of problems with the county. You're a smart guy.
do.
You know government.
Yeah, and I know the infrastructure and what's around.
You'd have to take a break from the podcast, though, and we'd have to give
the
Kody
only
the
thing
host
I'll
seat.
run for is Little
God.
Miss Friendly. When they finally open up the process,
You're going to run for Little Miss Friendly? Okay.
When they stop being so biased.
yeah.
Against old middle-aged men.
check your privilege, little girls.
There's a lot more other stuff. The performers and dates were announced for the Chehalis Music in the Park series. That's not till July, I want to say. But you can make your plans now. It's always a cool event. It's free. Those are my favorite kind of events. I think
we got headlines that, and I'm not going to read these headlines. They're no joking matters.
I want to save the chef kid for Hero of the Week because I want you to
That's
tell
cool.
the inspiring story of his winning.
Okay, I will.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
do
there's
that right now, or
no, we'll get to it in Heroes of the Week. He's going to be my nominee this week.
all right.
Lots of other stuff. Like I said, despite your not reading the news, there was a lot of it this week.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments, and first up, we have Tales from the Takes page, a.k.a. the opinion section. And Schwartz, what is going on in the opinion section?
Let's see. We'll just run down the headlines here. We've got another Bill Saran commentary from our occasional columnist out there in Packwood, living at the bottom of an atmospheric ocean in the Holocene epic. It's a good read. It's it's a scientific read, not extremely local really, but I enjoy reading Bill's writing. I think they're pretty good. A few letters. We had 4 letters today.
Can I take this first one?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this headline, the cut of it is right after the word against. So the letter to the editor headline is we must all be vigilant against, and then you could have given me 100 guesses, and I would not have come up with animal hoarding as what they were writing a letter about.
Yeah, it was about that Mason County. I don't know I can't remember if they arrested her. It was an investigation. There was 60 animals, some of them near death as far as dogs. Wire story that we ran, and I'm sure this is a bit of a form letter, to be honest. They do reference things directly from the story, but it is a representative of PETA who wrote this.
We've got something called Letter to the Editor, the Port of Centralia, and an imposter Facebook page. Go on.
I don't really know. I don't want it. It's about a Facebook page that is using, as far as I can gather, Port of Centralia logos and stuff, and is pro Port of Centralia.
Okay.
And so this letter writer, and I think there's others too, think that the port is involved with it, like indirectly maybe, and there should be an investigation of some sort.
Okay.
I don't know. It didn't seem like a huge thing for me. I'm happy to publish the letter, though. We have cases against Trump are all brought by the left, Aaron.
Oh, well.
You gonna make a joke? That's because that's all the attorneys are liberals. Is that what you gonna say?
Everybody involved at every level, all of them.
We have in response to claims on website disclosure.
Go on.
Follow up to our discussion on the South County writer from last week. In her own words, a response.
Okay.
Read that one. Julie McDonald, I mean, just hit a home run with this one for me. It's just a history of all area hospitals, which I've long heard various hospitals mentioned. And there's 2 buildings in Centralia that used to be hospitals. You probably know what those are just from seeing them and running around.
Yeah, I think so.
Over across from Edison is one, that big, large building. And then down, I want to say Tower, North Tower. There's that building off to the right if you're heading north.
Okay.
Also used to be a hospital. And then a couple like St. Helens Hospital over in Chehalis, which architecturally looked a lot like the one that was like up on Seminary Hill. Anyways, there's photos of all of them, and it's a good history. We had Joe Kent write a commentary. We didn't have. He submitted it, and we ran it. So I offered, that was weeks ago, so I offered to Glusenkamp Perez's folks that she could have editorial as well. So she wrote one titled, "Our Veterans Served Our Country. It's Time We Served Them."
Yeah, like she served Joe Kent with a big defeat.
Good one, Aaron. And then our weekly Senator John Braun column, when it comes to dodging Constitution, Democrats are habitual offenders.
I just thought of the Chappelle Show sketch, the habitual line stepper overs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my thoughts there.
I would say
no further comments.
And it's not. I feel like I always have to say I'm not insulting the letter writer, but this one with hate speech reporting line, we are teaching an entire generation to be constantly offended. I chuckled a few times reading it just because the Nazi comparison came out early and often, and
What's it compared to?
Just that they want people to. The letter writer's view is that the state wants people to tattle on their fellow residents if they have a belief that is different from theirs. I don't know. And that is very similar to the Nazis who were outing Jews and other people that the Nazis found undesirable. Mm-hmm. So, and then Lewis County,
if I were offended by the hate speech reporting line, I would simply not report any hate speech.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, what?
Richard Stride's commentary, the headline is all you need to know about this one. Beginning to understand the meaning of understanding. Mm-hmm.
He loves watching documentaries.
Yes.
But you know what his wife likes? Sitcoms.
I felt like he was taking shots at his wife.
Yeah.
Like I'm an educated man. I'm just joking.
This is a house of learned doctors.
Doctor. That's pretty much a full rundown of everything we've had on the opinion page in the past week.
I want to know what sitcoms his wife likes.
Me too. Probably Big Bang Theory, I would assume.
Young Sheldon, things of that nature.
I watched that for the first time the other day. It's not horrible.
Oh, yeah?
But I won't be rewatching.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
What the hell was that?
That was too loud.
What was that? Oh, man.
That was a British soundboard. It didn't go like I thought it was going to.
Sometimes things don't go like you thought they would, Aaron.
And you need a little cover, a little help from a friend.
Maybe the roof starts leaking, or you just start to notice a buildup of mold, and it starts to, soften a little bit.
You notice your roof is under the weather.
And exactly.
Who do you call?
You call the roof doctor is who you call.
Roof doctor.
What number do you call him at?
You tell me.
360-736-0246.
I would go to the office directly just because I would want that.
Their office over on Bishop Road, Chehalis.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe their office on, Capitol Boulevard I just drove by it. In Tumwater.
I don't know. I hope you're not wrong.
It's up there.
You're going to send somebody to a less skilled roof expert.
It's the roof nurse instead. Like, oh no. Yeah, the Roof Doctor in Chehalis awaits your house call. They provide new roofing and re-roofing, roof repair, roof cleaning, and emergency roofing. They've got locations in Bremerton, Chehalis, Hoquiam, Longview, Olympia, Shelton, and Tacoma. And they do solar, too. What do you think about that?
I'm fine with solar.
Yeah. Visit theroofdoctor.com to learn more. People's Champion of the Week. I have the Lewis County PUD crew who were honored for pulling a man from a burning RV in Mossy Rock.
That's pretty good, I guess.
Brad Peters, Bob Hadley, Joel Chandler, Travis Merriman, and Hunter Blair. I think Peters is he an assistant basketball coach out there?
I don't know. Don't
Morton
flex your
White Pass.
local sports knowledge on me.
Travis Merriman was a star for Morton back when they got, third or fifth in 2006. Covered that team.
That's a good one. It'd be tough to beat if it were not for Kaysen Talanoa. Kaysen Talanoa.
Sounds right.
Orrin Smith Elementary School fourth grader who in March won the Sodexo Future Chefs National Challenge at his school. So he won his school competition. And now he is in the top 5 nationwide, and it is on us, the people of Lewis County, to get him elected. And once voting opens, voting does not open, I want to say, until, May 6th, and it runs through May 17th. We're going to be back over with him this week because he's filming a video that's going along with this. But Kody, you met him. Tell us a little bit about Kaysen.
He's just a wonderful, charming young lad, and he can cook some great food. I tried it. It was delicious. And after he won, he was overcome with emotion. And Emily Fitzgerald, one of our reporters, was there, and she came up to him after to ask him how he felt about winning. And she was like, "Hi, I work for the newspaper. Could we get a quote for you for the article?" And he pondered his thoughts for a second, and then with teary eyes, he said, "Never give up."
That's awesome.
Awesome. That's
It was
why
great.
Inspirational.
That's why we're going to take up his cause. And there's no other locals in this top 5, so we're free to homer out on him.
Everybody vote Kaysen.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a post every day of the voting once that rolls around. As long as I don't forget, where we try to get him this. I think it's awesome. We were trying to cover Centralia this year, and we're told that they didn't do it. I think so.
Correct.
If anyone's wondering about that, usually we try to cover both of them, and then we didn't hear from Rochester this year. We've covered Rochester doing that competition in the past before as well. But we'll save it because he's going to win the Natty. We don't necessarily need to give him the People's Champ of the Week this time. I think the PUD guys smelling smoke and pulling the guy out of an emergency hatch on an RV of a burning RV. I mean, we got to give it to them.
Yeah, pretty good. Next thing, Sirens Banger of the Week. And the only submission we have is something you sent me, that at 2 p.m. on April 18th, the citizen reported the driver of a vehicle in the 1700 block of Northwest Louisiana Avenue, quote, popped out of the vehicle and opened a twisted tea and drank it.
That's all that was there, yeah.
God forbid we try to get through the day.
Is
Is it illegal to take a load off?
You can't just hop out the car and pop a twig. Come on.
I don't see any laws being broken here.
The other one we had, which is not necessarily funny, but who hasn't been here? Woman lights ex's car on fire. That was in Cowlitz County. She called her shot too, according to the report today before. Told him I'm gonna burn your stuff, and I'm guessing he probably didn't respond. And well, that
She
happened.
followed through.
Yeah, he's got one charred car.
I say it's not funny because it's a form of domestic violence. Obviously,
Well,
but
you've burned all your ex's cars, right?
never once have I burnt a car. I don't think I've burnt anything.
I don't believe you. You've seen you burn plenty of things, my friend.
Oh, come on. It's a low blow.
If you've suffered a low blow and maybe need some new work trousers, where would you go?
Oh, you'd go to Chehalis Outfitters.
Right to Chehalis Outfitters, of course.
There you go. When was your last time in Chehalis Outfitters, Cody? Is it still the one you went to gear up for your clamming expedition?
I kid you not. It was yesterday.
Oh, what'd you get?
How was it?
You know what I got? I got this Carhartt shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Wow.
You're wearing Chehalis
I
Outfitters
am.
right now.
How crazy is that? It's wonderful quality. And
Yeah.
guess what? I thought Carhartt was kind of expensive these days, because the jeans getting kind of steep. This shirt right here, $12.99.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Very reasonable.
Carhartt?
For
Fine looking
Carhartt.
shirt, too.
Yeah, it's a
You're
great
gonna have
shirt.
that the rest of your life.
I was pleasantly surprised by the prices when I went in there.
Not only that, but there's plenty of other things going on at Chehalis Outfitters, including a pet adoption event. It's coming up this Saturday from noon to 3 p.m. They're partnering again with Red Rose Animal Rescue with 21, and as they wrote here, yes, you read that right, 21 dogs will be available for adoption. To clarify, it's like pre-adoption. You'll go in there and get approved for it and everything. I don't think you walk out
I
with
was
a
there
dog.
last time. They had one of these taking photos, and when I got there, they'd only been open for like an hour, and most of the dogs were already gone.
Wow.
I just had a few cats left, so it sounds like they're bringing more this time.
From everything I've heard, that Red Rose Animal Rescue, which I think is out near Rochester, we've covered them before, just does an incredible job. And like many rescues in that business is just overwhelmed right now. In fact, unrelated, but we'll be out at the Lewis County Animal Shelter tomorrow because they're going to have a reduction event for their adoption fees. And I was told by Ridley, one of our photographers, sorry, Kody, that they're going to parade each dog out individually for photos like they did last year. So
Nice.
Is Ridley going to be shooting that?
I think so.
Yeah. I think actually Kaysen's filming his video tomorrow. I think that's what I'm going to go shoot.
Yep,
so.
you're going to go shoot that because we thought you'd want to reunite with Kaysen.
We both get some pretty wholesome assignments tomorrow. That's good.
Try to get some video Kaysen. Ask him how it feels to get to the national level like this.
I will try.
If he's too shy, that's fine too.
He was pretty shy last time.
Then
But
don't make him feel.
maybe he's
awkward.
grown into his fame, you know.
Another thing going on at Chehalis Outfitters is there is a canning seminar from 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. This is a ways out. It's June 1st, and I'm going to read the flyer here. Would you like to learn a skill, have control over the food you eat, save thousands of dollars on food costs, and have fun while you're at it? Aaron,
Yes.
would you?
Yeah, but I'm just a guy that loves cans, so I'd go regardless.
Join Chehalis Outfitters in 2 lumps of sugar for a canning seminar for the beginner and the most experienced. It's good for both. There is a cost of $25 per person, but for that, you're going to get a swag bag with a $75 value. So I don't even know how they're turning a profit on this. So, and you're going to get a recipe book and your questions answered. Plus free pressure gauge testing, so bring your lids.
All right. Facebook comments of the week. I only have one.
Oh, that was a good Chehalis Outfitters spot.
That was a very good
Still need to
Outfitter
get,
spot. You
still
did
need to
great
get
work.
Kelly in here, though.
Yeah. On a story about Chick-fil-A coming to Olympia, this guy says, yeah, a dual drive-through so we can speed up the fattening of America. It's just what we need. More fast food places. Eric Schwartz, prolific fast food eater. How do you feel?
That was just dunking all over me today. I would love to have a Chick-fil-A. Really would. If you put it down to In-N-Out, which Clark County is getting a second In-N-Out, I read in the Columbian today. Yeah, bring me Chick-fil-A. I like Chick-fil-A. You hate on Chick-fil-A?
The only time I've eaten Chick-fil-A is at the Nashville airport.
Oh, good.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean,
That's great.
if you're at the Nashville airport early in the morning, you can imagine how I was feeling. So it was phenomenal.
Rapid speed. What restaurant would you have open in Lewis County tomorrow if you could, Aaron?
Benihana.
Kody?
Chipotle.
Chipotle? Reid, you got anything? Any missing favorites?
Not fast food, but Olive Garden for sure.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
We
Hell
actually,
yeah.
we actually discussed this on the drive here.
We had a conversation a little bit earlier about that.
I don't blame you.
Not fast food, but
I think I'm just gonna be basic here and say Red Robin. Bring me a Red Robin.
Have you eaten at a Red Robin lately?
No, but that's why I want it.
If you eat at Red Robin, Aaron will believe you.
You see,
We
they've
learned that
added
from
more
state
bottomless
basketball.
menu items. It's not just fries anymore.
Remember the time we went to eat there and you stepped in a mud hole
How dare you?
and your shoe got stuck?
And no one helped me. You all just laughed and
You just stood
laughed
there
and
dancing
laughed.
around with a shoe in the mud and a sock.
It was a
yelling
new
at everybody.
shoe too. It was brand new shoes. You guys really showed what kind of friends you were that day.
Took a picture of you and laughed.
After I went and watched Lincoln with you,
Yeah, it's a good movie.
it really was.
Haven't watched it since. What's in the next edition of the paper?
I mean, I ran down a lot of it, not all of it, mind you. There was a lot, but we'll just look at the filed since deadline today stuff, and that's usually Emily. She does a great job. We'll finish the paper, and she just jumps right back on, and sometimes she'll produce like 4 or 5 stories before the last edition is even really finished on the printing press, so let's just pull those up. We've got man faces felony charges for allegedly spitting on officers during a trespassing arrest in Chehalis.
Well, you shouldn't do that.
I haven't read it yet, but it's a 19-year-old from Silver Creek, and yeah, he spit on officers. So I think he is charged with 3 separate felonies because there were 3 officers that were spat upon, which, you know what, spit's gross,
Yeah.
really gross. And then she looks like she's filed an assault here as well. Yeah, that just looks like a nasty domestic violence assault. But both those stories, I'll get those up on Cronline. And then, yeah, I don't know exactly how much of it will come through for the paper, but there's apparently a very cool heritage barn out in the Whatcom Valley that Emily and Ridley are going to check out tomorrow. And then we'll have a follow-up, like I mentioned, of our prince from Chehalis that's running for the national chef title.
The young lad Kaysen.
Yep. And then there's a guest speaker at Chehalis tomorrow in WF West. Story about that on Cronline too. But The gentleman jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and lived. I think, if I recall from the story correctly, there's only been like 5 or 6 people who have done that. But now he's kind of a speaker that goes around and talks to people about suicide and suicide attempts and just gives an encouraging message. So Mitchell will be covering that. And those are just a few of the highlights I can remember off the top of my head. We'll have a whole lot more.
All right, in closing, we're sponsored by Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor. Do we want to? We're not going to preview it. We will say we have a guest lined up for next week that we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, hopefully it comes through.
Yeah. It's more exciting than Kody and Reid. Sorry, guys.
Oh no, not at all, not at all. We couldn't let our job shadower go unless I need you to rate Kody's athleticism on a scale of 1 to 10.
And speaking of the mic, Reid.
This is not fair because he only played baseball with me.
Rank his athleticism.
Baseball. So
if he had played football with me, I feel like it'd be a very different rating. But continue.
So you were
no,
just a stud.
I'll take football into account. We'll go with a solid 7.8.
Oh, that's not bad.
Hey.
No,
He was
that's not bad.
a solid little lineman for us at Adna there. So
That's good.
We'll take it.
That's good. You played the line, Kody. What position?
I played defensive end and tackle.
Yeah. Were you the strong side tackle or the weak side tackle?
Strong side.
Oh, look at that. I was a
Look at him.
center,
What do
so
you think?
Do you
I played
think
center.
he was a cornerback looking at him? Like,
I don't know. He could have been a fullback.
Maybe.
solid.
Oh, yeah.
At Adna, if you're over 200 pounds, you're a lineman. So
That makes sense.
yeah, I played center my first year.
I
hated it. Absolutely hated
My
it.
athleticism was like a 2, so I
Yeah.
was just there to snap the ball and get run over.
Up at Forks.
Yeah.
all right, leave a review for us at Apple Podcast if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com. Sometimes we respond. Thanks, and we'll talk to you next week.